be nosy and hit her line. She like, girl, you can get. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. 30 on my wrist, what points of God. Big numbers, 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They elevated us, You know I'm icy in Vegas. This for the hater. I make a lot of new money, When it's not saving, be liking my flavor, I think it's God. Ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the new man in DC, Case Keenum, and the Washington Redskins as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the Washington Redskins. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL, in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
The number 4 overall pick in the 2010 draft is left tackle Trent Williams. And oftentimes we talk about a guy of this potential and say just plug him in at left tackle for the next 10 years. But rarely does that work out.
And the Eagles pressure too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. From the gun, it's Keenum. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep is Darren Sproles. So on fourth down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Eagles heading back out, and you think about their backfield, Charles, it's going to be interesting to see how things go here in the rest of preseason and into the regular season. You got Jordan Howard, who you picked up from Chicago, still just 24, twice 1,000-yard rusher, but there's a litany of other options, are there not?
They are absolutely loaded at the running back position because you already mentioned Jordan Howard. He's supposed to be the guy that carries it the most for them. But still on the roster, Josh Adams, undrafted out of Notre Dame. He helped save their season last year. Corey Clement, remember he was undrafted out of Wisconsin, caught a big touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. Wendell Smallwood out of West Virginia gives him kick return ability. Darren Sproles is back. He's a do-it-all guy. Donnell Pumphrey they drafted 2 years ago. And then they drafted this year Miles Sanders out of Penn State, who might be the best out of that whole group. Whoever is looking at this team is thinking to themselves, on cut-down day, there are going to be some quality running backs that will be available for the rest of the league. Whoever is looking at this team is thinking to themselves,
Wentz now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense. That the
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that,
protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Quinn. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
On third and long, it's Keenum. Jordan Reed has it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
52. Watch the run, watch the run.
From the 45 on second down, Keenum caught on the right side, Reed. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So that'll back him up 5.
Still third down.
Referee for the first time this afternoon. So that'll back him up 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. To the air again, Keenum. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Carson Wentz beginning his 4th NFL season here in this ball game, and the last 2 years he was not in the postseason with his teammates, including that Super Bowl run in Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis. Was limited to 13 games that year with the ACL injury. Last year, 11 games with back issues. But now Nick Foles, who took his spot, he's in Jacksonville, and all pressure and all eyes are on number 11 in 2019. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. He's in Jacksonville, and all pressure and all eyes are on number 11. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. The DN Jonathan Allen making sure his presence is felt.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Going to look deep for Jeffrey, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Wentz's throw into the hands of Aguilar. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And between the last 2 plays, they moved it over half the length of the football field. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass.
On third and long, it's Wentz. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
That's touchdown. Jeffrey.
Touchdown. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense.
He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that drive in total 8 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the focus of our players' spotlight right now shining on Case Keenum. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him. And the focus
has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? In this situation,
the dump-off gets him only one, and now you're looking at a third down. And this matchup, an important one for Week 1, an NFC East bout right off the bat. These two teams have met twice a year since 1936, 168 meetings overall, and the Redskins lead the series, but the Eagles, they have won 4 straight against these Washington Redskins. Throwing now is Keenum.
Oh, incomplete.
Incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots on banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll get him down up past the 15.
Let's go, Ertz.
Shy of the 20. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year.
Ertz over the middle.
From around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. He'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense.
All right, let's go defense.
Find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Wentz now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Play action.
He bites off the play action.
He's going to loft one. Deep left side
safety is
here.
down there.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Flushed out right.
Yeah, I'm going to run this one.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5 quarterback picks up the 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. The results for them so
It's all right,
far
we're
not
going to come
that
out and
great.
blitz him.
Not good
We'll
at
get the
all.
ball
3
back.
drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Peterson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles getting set to take over. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
2 INTs so
Normally,
far for Carson
we
Wentz.
want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond.
Oh.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray 1st, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, it looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, and Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against his secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been, but it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right, and Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes
Luckily,
down.
the Redskins suck, so it doesn't really matter. We threw 4 picks, we're still going to win.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Got a man, that's Quinn. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Keenan. Throw left side is complete to Reed. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion.
he's a field goal
I
range this
really
time.
enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due. And that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
They run with Howard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He's not going to get me.
On play action, Wentz. Forced out to his left. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 45-yard line.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket, completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while, and at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77, so not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability.
From the 39, Wentz rolling to his right. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wentz being chased out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly. That leads to a play-action sack. Now a first down throw, Keenum. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with this 4-point fourth-quarter lead. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. That'll be caught right side by Reed. 12 yards there and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Davis. That throw good for... It's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Careful.
Keenum to throw. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Oh, he scored on me.
You got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
I didn't see that happen.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Case Keenum.
He's taken down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Keenum now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route.
3-man rush, let's see.
Now Keenum. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason?
All right, let's hope tomorrow's game goes better than that.
The preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Eagles,